In just 4 minutes, you can decide whether your day will be wasted in chaos or invested in growth. 4 minutes may sound small, but the truth is even the biggest mountains are made of tiny stones. If you win these first 4 minutes, you win the day. Every morning when you wake up, your mind is like wet cement. Whatever impressions you put on it will shape the entire day. Most people, the moment they open their eyes, rush to their phones, scroll through endless notifications, and unknowingly allow the world to control their mood. Imagine beginning your day already stressed, already comparing, already distracted. That's how most of us lose our mornings without even realizing it. But what if you consciously spent just 4 minutes differently? 4 minutes of silence, gratitude, and direction. The first minute, breathe deeply and remind yourself that today is a gift. The second minute, close your eyes and visualize the person you want to be. Not tomorrow, not 10 years later, but today. The third minute, express gratitude for at least 3 simple things: your health, your family, your opportunities. And the fourth minute, set one powerful intention for the day. A single sentence that becomes your compass. It's not about having hours of rituals. It's about making your first 4 minutes sacred, because the way you start your day decides how you carry yourself through the storms and sunshine that come your way. Remember, you don't need to control the entire day. You just need to control how you begin it. Great lives are not built in giant leaps, but inconsistent small steps repeated every single morning. Give yourself 4 minutes every day without fail. It may be the smallest investment you make, but it will give you the biggest return, clarity, peace, and the strength to face anything. So, tomorrow morning, don't waste your first 4 minutes. Claim them, guard them, leave them with purpose. Because when you win the morning, you win the day. Your first 4 minutes shape your entire day. Think about it. The way you wake up and the thoughts that occupy your mind in those first few moments set the tone for everything that follows. Life is not lived in giant events. Life is lived in small, subtle, consistent choices. And the choice of how you spend your first 4 minutes after waking up is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Most people don't even realize it. They think it's just a few minutes. What difference will it make? But pause for a moment and reflect. Have you noticed how sometimes one single incident in the morning affects your mood the entire day? Someone says something rude, you miss your bus. Your phone shows you a message that irritates you, and suddenly you're carrying that irritation everywhere, with everyone. If a small negative event can spoil your day, then a small positive ritual can uplift your day. Imagine this. You're a driver sitting in a car at the start of a journey. The direction you set your steering wheel in the very first few meters decides where you'll end up miles later. If your steering is slightly off, you'll miss your destination by a long shot. The same applies to life. The steering of your day is in your hands during those first 4 minutes. How you set it, how you align it determines the path of your entire day. But unfortunately for many people, the first thing they do when they wake up is to grab their phone. Before they've even said good morning to themselves, they've said good morning to the entire world. They drown themselves in a flood of messages, social media posts, emails, and notifications. And what happens? Instead of starting their day with calmness and direction, they begin with anxiety and distraction. You may not realize it immediately, but when you scroll through your phone first thing in the morning, you are giving the power of your mind away. You're saying, "Here world, take my emotions, take my focus, take my peace." And then you wonder why you feel restless the whole day. Let me share a story. A young man once asked me, "Why do I feel so drained even before my day starts? I wake up, I check my phone, I reply to messages. I scroll through Instagram and then I feel so heavy." I asked him, "When you wake up, do you drink water or do you drink poison?" He laughed and said, "Of course, water." I told him, "But your mind doesn't know the difference. When you wake up and the first thing you consume is negativity, comparison, news of fear, or gossip, it is no different than drinking poison. You may not die physically, but you die emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You slowly lose your peace. Your morning is not just a time of day. It is the foundation of your energy, your focus, and your productivity. When the foundation is weak, the building collapses. When the foundation is strong, the building stands tall against storms. That is why you must guard your first 4 minutes carefully. Treat them like sacred moments. These are the moments when your mind is most impressionable, most open to influence, and most powerful in shaping the hours that follow. Think of your mind as wet cement. When cement is wet, anything that touches it leaves a deep impression. If you place chaos on it, chaos remains. If you place gratitude on it, gratitude remains. If you place peace, peace remains. The first 4 minutes after you wake up are like that wet cement. Whatever you put in will harden and become the structure of your day. And that is why choosing to consciously shape those minutes is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Now you may be thinking, but it's just 4 minutes. Can it really make such a difference? Let me give you an example. Imagine a tiny seed. It looks so small, almost insignificant. But when planted in fertile soil and nurtured consistently, it grows into a massive tree, giving shade, fruits, and life to others. Those 4 minutes are like that tiny seed. They may appear small, but when you plant them into your morning consistently, day after day, they grow into something that can transform your entire life. Great success is not built in hours. It is built in minutes, In fact, it is built in moments. And the first moments of your morning are the most precious of them all. If you can take control of those moments, you can take control of your day. And if you can take control of your day, you can take control of your life. The truth is, your mind does not need long hours of rituals to find clarity. It just needs a few intentional minutes to set direction. Imagine a rocket preparing to launch into space. The launch pad sequence doesn't take the entire journey. It only sets the rocket into motion. Once the direction is set, the rocket follows. Similarly, when you spend the first few minutes of your day with awareness, you set your inner rocket in motion. You align yourself with peace, gratitude, and purpose. The rest of the day naturally flows from that alignment. But here's the catch. Consistency is the secret. You can't do it one day and expect miracles. Just like brushing your teeth for one day doesn't give you lifelong dental health. Just like exercising for one day doesn't give you a perfect body. Spending 4 minutes in the morning for one day won't give you lifelong clarity. The magic is not in doing it once. The magic is in repeating it every single day. Slowly it becomes a habit. Then it becomes a lifestyle, and soon it becomes your identity. I remember speaking to a group of professionals once, and one of them asked me, what is the one small change that can make the biggest difference in my performance? I told him the small change is in your morning. Don't give your first moments away. Don't start by checking emails. Don't start by scrolling through bad news. Start by grounding yourself. It's like charging your phone in the morning. If your phone is at 2%, can you use it the whole day? No. Similarly, if your mind is drained at the start, can you really expect to stay strong through challenges? Your 4 minutes are your mental charger. Plug into them and you'll run your whole day fully charged. Life is not about adding more and more hours of activity. Life is about adding more quality to the hours you already have. And quality begins with intentionality. When you start your day with intention, you don't just react to whatever comes your way. You respond with wisdom, clarity, and strength. You don't get tossed around by the storms of circumstances. You stand like a lighthouse, guiding your own ship. And all this can begin with something as simple as how you spend your first 4 minutes. So tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, before you rush into the chaos, take charge of your 4 minutes. Breathe deeply. Feel the gift of life. Smile at yourself. Say thank you for waking up today. Visualize the kind of day you want to live. Set one clear intention, a guiding thought that will help you through the challenges ahead. Do it consistently and notice the difference. Over time, you will realize something powerful. The morning is not just the beginning of the day. It is the beginning of your destiny. Because when you change how you start, you change how you live. And when you change how you live, you change who you become. Your first 4 minutes shape your entire day. Guard them, value them, and live them with purpose. Use 4 simple practices: deep breathing, visualization, gratitude, and setting one clear intention to anchor your mind. These are not complicated rituals. They don't require expensive tools, elaborate planning, or hours of your time. They require only your awareness, your willingness, and 4 minutes of your morning. But the impact they create is far greater than you can imagine. These 4 practices are like 4 pillars. When they are strong, they hold up the entire structure of your day. If even one is missing, the structure begins to wobble. Let's explore how each one works and why they matter. The first practice is deep breathing. When you wake up in the morning, your body is still carrying the tension of yesterday. Your mind may be foggy and your energy may feel scattered. By simply taking deep, conscious breaths, you reset your system. Breathing is not just about survival. It is about alignment. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you tell your nervous system to relax. You bring oxygen to your brain. You energize your cells, and you quiet the storm of random thoughts. It's like wiping the dust off a mirror. Suddenly, you can see clearly. In just 60 seconds of deep breathing, you give yourself the gift of clarity. I once told a student of mine, if you cannot take 1 minute to breathe in the morning, you are too busy to live, because breathing is life. Without it, nothing else matters. The second practice is visualization. The mind works in pictures. What you imagine consistently becomes the direction your life begins to move toward. If you wake up and let your imagination run wild with fear, insecurity, or doubts, your day will unconsciously follow those pictures. But if you wake up and deliberately visualize the person you want to be today, your actions will align with that image. Visualization is not about daydreaming. It is about creating a blueprint. Think about an architect. Before building a house, the architect first creates a design. Without that design, the construction cannot happen. Your life is the same. Every day you are building something with your thoughts and actions. If you want your day to be meaningful, you must design it with your mind before living it with your body. When you visualize yourself being calm, being focused, being kind, being productive, you prepare your mind to follow that path. In 1 minute of visualization, you lay down the blueprint of success for your day. The third practice is gratitude. Gratitude is the seed of joy. Most of us wake up and immediately think of what we don't have, what we still need to do, or what is missing from our lives. This creates a sense of lack, and lack leads to stress. But when you start your day with gratitude, you flip the script. You shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. Gratitude opens your eyes to abundance. You may not have everything you want, But you already have so much to be thankful for. Your breath, your health, your family, your opportunities. And the more you practice gratitude, the more you notice blessings that were always there, but hidden by your complaints. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It is about seeing life through a lens of appreciation. 1 minute of genuine gratitude in the morning can dissolve hours of negativity later in the day. I once met a man who told me, "I have nothing to be grateful for." I said, "Do you have eyes?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Do you know how many people would give anything to see the world as you do?" Gratitude is not about having a perfect life. It is about recognizing the perfection in the life you already have. The fourth practice is setting one clear intention. This is the compass for your day. Most people live without a compass. They wake up, rush into tasks, react to circumstances, and end the day feeling exhausted but not fulfilled. Why? Because they had no direction. Imagine a sailor on the ocean without a compass. The waves will toss him here and there, and he will drift endlessly. But give him a compass, and suddenly, no matter how strong the waves are, he has direction. In the same way, setting a clear intention each morning gives your life direction. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just one sentence is enough. Today, I will be calm no matter what happens. Today, I will focus on progress, not perfection. Today, I will choose kindness over anger. These simple intentions act like anchors. When storms of stress and distractions come, your mind remembers the anchor and it pulls you back to stability. Without intention, you are lost in reaction. With intention, you live with purpose. Now imagine practicing all four of these together in just 4 minutes. 1 minute of deep breathing. 1 minute of visualization. 1 minute of gratitude. 1 minute of intention. It may sound too simple to be powerful, but simplicity is where true power lies. Don't underestimate small, consistent actions. They create massive shifts over time. A river may look gentle, but when it flows consistently, it carves valleys and shapes landscapes. These 4 minutes will shape the landscape of your inner world. Think about this. How many mornings have you rushed out of bed, started running through your day, and ended up exhausted, stressed, or lost? Compare the two mornings when you felt calm, centered, and grounded. The difference was not in how much work you had. It was in how you started your day. When you take these 4 minutes seriously, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You become the creator of your inner state. And when your inner state is strong, no outer storm can defeat you. Let me share another story. A young woman once told me, "I don't have time for meditation or long rituals. My mornings are too busy." I asked her, "Do you have 4 minutes?" She smiled and said, "Of course." I told her, "Then you have enough. You don't need to escape to the mountains or sit in silence for hours. You just need to reclaim 4 minutes of your morning. She started with these 4 practices. After a few weeks, she told me, "My mornings feel different. I am calmer. My mind doesn't panic the way it used to." That is the power of consistency in small practices. Deep breathing clears your mind. Visualization directs your energy. Gratitude fills your heart. Intention anchors your spirit. Together, they transform your day from chaos to clarity. These are not abstract ideas. They are practical tools. Anyone can do them. They don't cost you money. They don't require fancy training. They require only your willingness to value yourself enough to give yourself 4 minutes of sacred time. The world will always demand your attention. Your phone will always have notifications. Your responsibilities will always be waiting. But the question is, will you value your mind enough to give it strength before giving yourself to the world? If you don't, you will always lie reactive, scattered, and drained. But if you do, you will live grounded, peaceful, and focused. So tomorrow morning, take these 4 steps. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. See yourself as the person you want to be. Feel grateful for what you already have. Set one intention to guide your day. It will take only 4 minutes, but it will give you 24 hours of direction, peace, and purpose. Remember, greatness is not about doing extraordinary things once in a while. Greatness is about doing simple things consistently with extraordinary commitment. And there is nothing simpler, nothing more powerful than these 4 practices. Practice them every day and you will notice the shift, not just in your mornings, but in your life. Consistency creates transformation. This is one of the greatest truths of life yet. It is the one most people underestimate. We live in a world that is obsessed with quick results. Everyone wants instant success, instant peace, instant happiness. But the reality is nothing meaningful grows overnight. A tree doesn't grow the day you plant the seed. A relationship doesn't deepen the day you meet someone. A body doesn't become strong after one day in the gym. Transformation comes not from what you do once in a while, but from what you do consistently. Think about brushing your teeth. If you brush only once, your teeth won't stay clean forever. If you exercise only one day, your body won't stay fit forever. But when you do these small things daily without fail, they create long-term health. The same is true for your mind and soul. One morning of breathing, gratitude, and intention won't change your life. But when you practice it every single day, without excuses, it rewires your mind, reshapes your character, and redirects your destiny. The real magic is in the discipline of repetition. But here's the challenge. Consistency is not exciting. It's not glamorous. It feels ordinary. And that's why so many people give up. They think it's just 4 minutes. How can it matter? If I skip today, nothing will happen. And they're right. If you skip today, nothing big will happen. But if you skip today and then tomorrow and then again the day after, the habit dies before it even begins. Transformation is the reward of those who value small actions enough to repeat them until they become second nature. Let me tell you a story. A farmer once planted bamboo seeds. He watered them daily, cared for the soil and waited. After 1 year, nothing. 2 years, nothing. 3 years, still nothing. People laughed at him, mocked him, said, "Why waste your time on seeds that don't grow?" But the farmer kept watering. In the 5th year, something incredible happened. Within 6 weeks, the bamboo shot up more than 80 feet into the sky. Did it grow in 6 weeks? No, it grew in 5 years. For 5 years, its roots were developing underground, unseen by the world. Then, when the time was right, its growth exploded. Life is the same. Your consistent practices may not show visible results immediately, but beneath the surface, your roots are growing stronger. Your mind is becoming sharper. Your heart is becoming calmer. Your spirit is becoming steadier. And then one day, the results will show. People will look at you and say, "How did you become so focused? How did you become so peaceful? How did you transform?" They will think it happened overnight, but you will know the truth. It happened through small, unseen, consistent actions that nobody noticed, but you never stopped. Consistency is not just about discipline, it is about trust. Trusting the process even when you don't see immediate results. Trusting that every small effort counts, even if it looks invisible today. Trusting that over time small drops fill the ocean. When you give yourself 4 minutes every morning, you may not feel a dramatic difference on day 1, but if you continue on day 30, on day 60, on day 90, you will notice something powerful. Your mornings feel lighter, your mind feels clearer, your heart feels steadier, and that is when you realize that consistency has been silently transforming you. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a year. They want to meditate for 1 hour one day and expect enlightenment, but they underestimate what 4 minutes every day for 1 year can do. Consistency beats intensity. It is better to do little every day than to do a lot once in a while, because consistency builds momentum, and momentum is unstoppable. Think of water dripping on a rock. 1 drop means nothing. 10 drops mean nothing. But when water continues to drip day after day, year after year, it carves through stone. That is the power of consistency. If water can shape stone, imagine what your consistent practices can do to your mind, your habits, your destiny. But here's the secret. Consistency is not about perfection. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel lazy. Some days you will not feel like doing anything. That's okay. The goal is not to be perfect every single day. The goal is to keep showing up as much as you can. Even if you do it badly, do it. Even if you don't feel like it, do it. because the habit is more important than the quality in the beginning. Over time, quality will follow. But first, you must protect the habit with consistency. I once heard someone say, motivation gets you started, but consistency keeps you going. Motivation is like a spark. It excites you, inspires you, energizes you. But a spark dies quickly if you don't feed it. Consistency is the wood you place on the spark to turn it into a fire. Without consistency, the spark of motivation will fade. With consistency, the spark becomes a flame, and the flame becomes a fire that lights your path. In life, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is consistency. Ordinary people do things once in a while. Extraordinary people do small things every day without fail. Ordinary people wait for the right mood, the right time, the right situation. Extraordinary people act even when they don't feel like it. And in the end, consistency rewards them with transformation. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have hours. You don't need to do something massive. All you need is to be consistent with something small. 4 minutes of breathing, visualization, gratitude and intention every morning. It sounds simple, and it is simple. But if you do it every day, it becomes powerful because consistency turns habits into character, and your character shapes your destiny. Think of the most successful people in any field: athletes, musicians, leaders, spiritual teachers. What do they all have in common? Consistency. They may have different talents, different skills, different paths, but the one thing they all share is a commitment to showing up every single day, even when they don't feel like it. That is why they grow. That is why they inspire. That is why they transform. So, if you want to change your life, don't look for magic shortcuts. Don't wait for big moments. Start small. Start with 4 minutes. And most importantly, stay consistent, because one day of effort brings inspiration. 1 week of effort brings hope. 1 month of effort brings progress. And 1 year of effort brings transformation. Consistency creates trust within yourself. When you show up every day, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, that you keep your word, that you honor your commitments, and that builds self-respect. Self-respect creates confidence. Confidence creates courage, and courage creates transformation. It all begins with consistency. So, tomorrow morning when you wake up, remember this. Don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being consistent. Don't focus on doing it once. Focus on doing it daily. Don't underestimate the power of 4 minutes. Because those 4 minutes repeated every single day will not only shape your mornings, they will shape your life. In the end, transformation is not an event, it is a process. A process built on daily choices, daily actions, and daily commitments. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do something. But you have to do it consistently, because consistency is not just the key to success. It is the bridge between who you are today and who you can become tomorrow. And when you walk that bridge every day, step by step, minute by minute, morning by morning, you will arrive at a life filled with clarity, peace, and purpose. Consistency creates transformation. Never forget that.